And she's back. Holy moly. It has literally been a month of Sundays. And I was thinking about that phrase because it's one that Wanda uses. But I am so flippin' excited to be back with you guys. It was a long 3 weeks, an amazing 3 weeks, over 4,000 miles in a van with a dog and a 12-year-old. Memories priceless. I'm so grateful that I got to meet some of you guys, and I'm really sorry that I didn't get to meet all of you. We just weren't able to do everything that we wanted to do. It is what it is. The good news is this summer I plan on making a trip up north. So I'll be taking the northern route up to New York, coming in from El Paso or Atlanta. It depends on where I'm at that point. But I'm going to get out there and try to meet as many of you guys as I can. And I'm also going to try to do some live in-person readings while I'm traveling. So we're going to book a little tour date, which will be really cool. So we can do some gatherings. We could get to meet everybody. You guys can bring your friends and we can all have one heck of a good time. But again, super grateful to be back. It's so good to be back in company and energy with you guys. And I want to thank all of you for being here because I'm just overwhelmed all the time with the outpouring of love from you guys. It lifts me, it supports me, it bolsters everything that I do. And it makes me get up every day and do the things that I do for this network. And so for that, I just want to say thank you. Feeling really grateful tonight. We've got a lot going on. I know you guys know because we had so much with November 8th, and I was really blessed, as most of you know, to be with Rachel through that process. And it was interesting. She and I had some really deep talks. I'm sure you guys can imagine sitting out in the woods talking, sipping on a little whiskey, a whole lot of insight. Um, my volume's unmuted on Facebook. Is that what you're saying, Victor? Oh, holy moly. I hope it's not muted. Can you guys hear me? Sound off? No sound at all? Wow. Hang on 1 minute. Let me see. Oh my gosh, what is going on? How did my sound get messed up? Boop. You can hear me now? Is that right? Yay! Can everybody else hear me now? Awesome. Okay, so everybody missed the first part where I was all grateful and talking about the trip. Holy cow. I don't know what to say now. I guess I have to repeat it all. I don't know. But I'll just start from where I picked up, or where I left off, I should say. So Rachel and I were having a lot of talks November 8th and through that whole time. And, you know, the really interesting thing was that was the beginning of the process. Now, let me be clear that we are moving through Scorpio right now. All that Scorpio energy is building up. I'm a Scorpio. I get it. Right? Scorpio is all about the universe's little jokes. It's about deep, dark humor, and we have to learn how to look at that and be able to laugh at it. So we have to come at it with some lightheartedness. But the good news is this, that there is some pressure release on that pressure cooking pot, but it doesn't come until around March. We've got a lot going on until that time, but it's all good. I know a lot of you right now who are in relationships are having a really hard time. That's been the calls that I've been getting the last 2 days. And everybody's really struggling because we've been going through that thing on a personal level where people have been kind of, I don't know, coveting, how do I say, their privacy, their wellness, their well-being, kind of going inside and protecting it, building a wall up like, right? Even when they're in relationships, it's okay. It's understandable. And the greatest expression that we have in love is allowing people space to go through what they're going through without taking it personally and without judging. It's really hard to do, but we can do it. So let me see kind of where we are. I'm so glad you guys can hear me now. That's super weird because the first part was so awesome. I was blabbering all kind of awesome stuff, and now you've missed it. Now the whole world's missed it. Can't get those 20 seconds back. It's never going to happen. But I'm glad to have everybody in, and I want to make sure that I'm saying hey to everybody. So hello, Miss Carol, Izzy, Victor, Deborah Walden. Good to have you in, sweet girl. Brigitte, as always. Great to see you. I'm glad everybody can hear me. KJ, good to have you in, sweetie. Nice to see everybody in. And it looks like Carol would like a Scorpio reading for me, which I'm happy to do. So I'm still working a little bit with these tarot cards for you guys, aside from my normal readings, just to kind of give some perspective. And since Carol's birthday is coming up tomorrow, Carol, don't make me embarrass you and sing happy birthday here because I have the voice of a serial killer. I'm joking. kind of a siren. Maybe is better. Oh God, that's making me think of that movie. Oh brother, where art thou? Except for this time, it's oh sister, where art thou? Huh? I'm like, go to sleep, little baby. Right? All right, here we go. But I want to do a Scorpio reading for Miss Carol for her birthday. And if you guys are new, if there's anybody new in the group, please, please, please ask questions. I really love getting direct with you guys. I like to give detailed information. I like to give direct answers. You're welcome to ask for something general, but if you do, I'm going to give you something general. So try to be as specific as you can with what you want from me, and I will do my best to meet all of your needs and expectations. So Miss Carol, for your birthday, beautiful girl, I have got the first breath, the beginner's mind. Really, really, really cool card. It was inverted, however, so I'm going to turn it up this way. Now, Carol, here's the thing. I think you already know this. You are a master in your own right. You always have been. You came in that way with a mastery level of information, with a deep knowledge and understanding of who you were and how things should look working around you. I say that carefully because Scorpios have a big ideal of how we think things should look working around us because we're very practical people. We are common sense based people. We don't understand why other people don't have common sense, or at least in the way that we judge it and view it. Hey, Dawn. So we're always kind of sitting back with the WTF, right? Like, what? I was actually joking on this trip that I should, the stickers that say, what would Jesus do? And I should change it to what would Jen do? Meh, it's a thought for marketing. But it's that mentality of why? What is going on here? Why aren't people just getting it? Why can't they see the writing on the wall? That's a Scorpion thing for sure. So let me bust in and see what all I see for you. Because the main thing that comes up for me is you learning boundaries with other people. And it's funny because this comes back to what I was saying before. This next 3 months are really going to be about the boundaries of how we love other people and how we put ourselves in a position of caring without getting lost and harnessing negative energy with them and for them. And this is definitely a play with you. So it's about how you work with other people, and how you love them without getting lost in them, without getting lost in their problems. It's a real balance game, but you can absolutely do it. In that mastery, sometimes you feel like you're losing yourself, and that's okay. Sometimes we feel like because we want to meet people where they are, we're so deep and compassionate, even though a lot of people don't realize how compassionate Scorpios are. We have some of the biggest hearts on a global big level of any other sign. It's just our delivery is so direct and to the point that a lot of people take it in a way that it's harsh. People can't handle the truth so well, right? Nah, what are you going to do with that one? I just keep on going with the truth, but it can be a hard pill to swallow sometimes. And that's where you are. You're the administrator of medication, literally and metaphorically in this case, and that's going to keep going on. There is a death of old things that don't serve for you that comes in really strong. And again, it comes in around work for you. But I will say that things look like they're shifting. I think you're going to find that you can kill off or let things die at work that didn't serve you and still do your job. This goes back to the beginning of the reading, right? Knowing how to love and expand without adopting and absorbing and becoming part of. And I think that's what this process is for you, Carol. It's learning how to be you authentically without apologizing in a way that is helpful. Even if others view it harmfully, that's their decision. You know that old Wayne Dyer saying, if it's not your business what other people think of you. It's true. We all have to deliver our truth in a delicate way sometimes. Sometimes it's not going to come so delicate. Sometimes the truth just is the truth. It is what it is. And Carol, that's where you are. You're a truth bearer. So continue to be that. Don't extinguish your light or extinguish the truth to make other people feel safe all the time. I mean, there is a line here where we have to be careful, obviously not to hurt people. We can't throw the truth out there if they haven't asked for it, right? Now that comes down to consent. But I think you have a really good understanding of that. So happy birthday, beautiful girl. I love you so much. And everybody here at the network is so excited for you to turn 25 again. Yay! Super exciting. Yo, excuse the sniffles. I think I got a little sick coming back in. Strange coming from the East Coast back into the desert, because it messes with you. Like it's a real kind of a wake-up call. But let me go up and make sure that I didn't miss anything. Okay. Yay, Brigitte, you finally got some sound. Now you can hear me rattling on. Yay. Love it. And I said hi to Miss Dawn. We're so glad to see you in, sweetie. Oh, Dawn, you're so sweet. Let me put it up. So you missed hearing how the trip went. Thank you, and I'm glad to be home safe and sound too. The trip was amazing. We got to visit with a few guys here on the network, a few girls, I should say, on the network, which was phenomenal. We made a huge trip. It was over 4,000 miles. And I have to tell you guys, the funniest part of this whole thing is this is an old van that I converted, right? That girl, old Betty, made it all the way through. And I was laughing on the way back in because the last day coming in, I drove like almost 1,100 miles that day. We were just ready to get home, and I was pretty tired. But literally, we never had a problem. And I kept patting her on the dashboard and saying, thanks, Betty. Thanks for getting us there. And the minute we pulled into our road, 100 feet away from our driveway, I heard this horrible metallic sound, and the steering pump went out. But it's okay. The joy in that is what she got us home safely. What a miracle is that? And the memories were priceless, man. We had so many good memories. We met so many beautiful and amazing people along the way. And Romy and I were able to share our hearts and our stories with other people. And we were able to get a really good grip on where people are in this country, how they're feeling. And do you know what's so crazy? The collective all feels the same thing. It's such a beautiful experience when you talk to people and you realize, even if they have minorly differing opinions, we all have the same thing going on. We all want the same thing. So there was a beautiful sense of unity in that experience, and I'm grateful for it. I can't wait to do it again. All right. Hello, Miss Mika. And Deborah, you would like a Virgo. This Virgo would like a reading. Well, you've got it. I'm on it. And Mika, I'll get to you right behind that. And KJ, I will get to you as well, sweetheart. I'm looking at it. Mother Rucker, huh? Those sounds like Mormon cuss words. You know, I grew up Mormon, and we always had sayings like shut the front door instead of, shut the F up. And what the feck, those kind of things. So Mother Rucker sounds like a Mormon cuss word. I like it. Okay, Miss Deborah, let's jump in here and see what we've got for you. If you guys don't know Miss Deborah Walden, I met her, actually Wanda, and I met her and her beautiful husband, Jerry, many, many years ago. And we all became very close. And I have to say that her husband was such a guiding influence for me in a loving partnership of father energy and brotherly energy. Value them dearly for the rest of my days. So, Deborah, what you've got is a 55 card. This is on the tarot. Now, that goes down to a 10, which is into a 1. So it's all about you. It's all about self. And this is called the Farther Gate, Bold Step Forward. So this is all about you moving into new territory. It's about you preparing for new decisions, new ways of being, a new identity in some senses for yourself, a new way of expressing yourself. And expressing yourself in not just the way that you are and were a wife and a mother, but also just who Deborah is. This is the second go around. And I have to tell you, excuse me for guys, sorry, you get older, your bra straps fall down. I feel Jerry so much around you, and it's really interesting because there's this push of soulmate energy for you to find somebody else, for you to be in love, for you to be just encompassed and surrounded by absolute pure love. So funny, I smell a candle right now. Jerry made candles, and I'm smelling a candle. One of his favorite ones was a candle called Butt Naked, and I used to tease him all the time about it, but I'm smelling that smell. It smelled like soap and perfume, and it's Jerry. But he's pushing people towards you to be committed to you in a loving way, to bring new energy into your life, because it's all about living. This is all about renewal. So these next couple of months for you, and even the next couple of years, are going to be about renewing your love with life and with people. And I think Jerry's on the other side steering you towards love in every capacity, because he was the oh God, the definition of love. I don't know if I've ever met a more honest and loving, earnest, humble person in my life. And I feel his energy around you so intensely. He just wants so much for you to have that, that he's working from the other side, pushing really hard to make sure that comes in for you again. So sit tight, Mamacita. Just know that your soulmate is on the other side, making sure that that soulmate energy, that loving energy, continues to grow and bloom and blossom and do all the things it needs to do. And I just want to tell all of you guys tonight, I feel a real need, and I think we're all in this space. I want to sow seeds of hope and love tonight. We're going to have heavy months ahead of us. There's no doubt about that. We're going to have a heavy couple of years ahead of us. But if we keep sowing the seeds of love, we're going to reap the benefits at the end. And I want to express that to you guys with a genuine open heart, and hope that you adopt that and hold that in your minds and in your hearts every day when you're interacting with yourself and other people, and make sure that you're sowing seeds of love. If it doesn't serve the higher purpose of love, it doesn't need to be there. Let's just focus on what serves our higher purpose, and everything's going to be fine. Miss Mika, did you have a specific question, or was this general, my darling? I will scroll down really quick and see if I see anything about it. But so far I don't. So let me know, Mika, if this is something more specific or not. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and jump over to KJ. I'm also going to take a pause for the calls and tell you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by whatever this horrible red blend cheap wine is from Albertsons. Thank you, Albertsons. Okay. KJ, here's the question. Lord have mercy, KJ. You broke 2 more front teeth today eating a taco, mother rucker. It's the chemo. Should I take a break or suck it up? I don't feel too bad, just tired. Teeth are going to break during chemo. We both know that, right? Because it's depleting your body of all those nutrients. It's making all of your bones weak. 1, maybe don't eat tacos, sister. Just saying. Or maybe eat a soft taco and not a hard taco, right? I'm really sorry that happened to you, though. That sucks. It's horrible. Do I think you should take a break? Listen, here's my thing, KJ, with this, and I'm going to be very blunt. I know Carol's laughing at me right now because she knows where I'm going with this. But where you are, where we all are, but where you are in treatment is about quality of time and quality of life over everything else. Because here's the gig. It's a one-way ticket. None of us are getting out alive. What we have to choose, whether we have a diagnosis or not, is quality of life and how we live it. So should you continue treatment or not? I think it's irrelevant. You're going to end up in the same place either way when it's time for you to end up in that place. And only God and the universe knows when that is. And in the meantime, I encourage you to live. Live. Do what makes you happy. Live to your fullest potential. Do whatever makes you feel joyful and in bliss and happy. And F the rest of it, KJ. The rest of it's irrelevant. We come in to experience joy and love. We come in to experience also pain so that we know how to sympathize and be compassionate. But at the end of the day, it's all about joy and love. So do whatever is required for you to feel that. Whether you stay on it or you quit it is irrelevant. You're going to end up in the same place exactly where you, God, and the universe agreed for you to be. So sod it, baby girl. There's no wrong decision in this. Do what is best for you and do what feels right in your heart. Okay? That's it. Mika, let me see if I got anything from you. Just a general reading? Okay. No worries. Let me jump in and make sure I'm in the right place. And I am. All right, Miss Mika. Oh my gosh. Do you know what I did, Mika? Give me 1 second because I forgot to pull a card for KJ. And KJ, you're going to poop your pants when you see what this card is. It's a 7 card, of course, right? Why not? It's called the Covenant, the Sacred Contract. How crazy is that? That came up to remind you that you made a sacred contract that isn't dependent on what your physical body's doing. It's all about living. It's all about life. Just try to reconnect with that contract. Just remember that you chose to come here and endure all these things so that you could gain the skills that you needed to gain, so that in the next experience, next life experience, that you harness more compassion and joy and empathy than anyone you've ever met. The rest of it's irrelevant. We're all wearing a meat suit, right? We're all in a used car. It just doesn't matter. The vehicle doesn't matter. It's the experience that matters. Okay, Mika. Now I'm going to jump back in. Sorry. Miss Mika, you got a 19 card. That's a 10, reducing back down into a 1. All about you. All about you. Just like with Deborah. This one's called Falling Angel. It's all about spiritual narcolepsy. Can you see it? So this angel has forgotten himself. This angel has fallen asleep. This angel is habitually falling asleep. Again, kind of like with KJ's out of a contract. This is an issue of you not wanting to be awake all the time through everything. And that's okay. I get it. Life can be scary and times can be scary, but it's about you saying, this is too much for me. I just don't want to be in it all the time. Sometimes it's easier for me to just kind of dissipate, to go away, to fade into the mist. But if you're going to be present and claim the gifts that you gave to yourself before you came into this life experience, because I truly believe we all created, if you want to call it a vault, a bank account, full of unlimited possibilities and gifts that we could draw from, like I would draw from an ATM. Those things are there waiting for you. But if you don't wake up and accept it and take the gift, you're never going to be free to express yourself fully. I just feel all this fear with you, this fear of truly expressing who you are. It's almost like you're hiding out inside of your own skin because you're afraid that if you really are 100% authentically who you are, people won't love you. And I have news for you, that is not true. People will love and respect you more for being authentically 100% who you actually are. So I encourage you to push for that. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to be yourself, sweetheart. Who you are is perfect. It's perfect for you. You designed you this way. Nobody else chose you to be this way. This was not some coincidence that bumbled around and crashed into each other in the universe somewhere. You chose you this way. So own it. Own every second of it, every inch, every ounce of your being. Own it, Mika. You've got this. You're a beautiful, beautiful person. But you have to step forward into your own light. You know, in modeling and photography, they always tell you to find your light, right? I was always good at that, of kind of coming up into my light and finding it so that it would find my face. And you have to do the same thing. Push your face up into the light and claim the beauty of what you instilled in yourself and what the universe offered you as unlimited possibilities in your experience here. Don't be afraid, baby. Just step up and step in. Okay? It's your time. It's always been your time. You can't even miss your time. That's the crazy, joyful beauty of the universe. You can't even F this up if you try. It will still keep coming until you accept it. So just step into your life. Think of it kind of like a catwalk in a runway, Mika. Girl, you just need to toss that hair back, throw the cape back, and sashay, right? Sashay all the way down the runway, doing you, confidently doing you, and everything will be okay. All righty, let me see where I'm at. Carol, it's going to be a crazy 3 months. It is indeed, guys. We're just on the precipice of what's going on. What happened November 8th and what built up to that was the beginning of a cycle. By no means was it the middle or the end. And we are still way, way in that process. That cycle doesn't end until we have presidential elections. And I know that sounds crazy because it shouldn't be all political, but what's steering this is, God, how do I say this? Our collective cosmic consciousness. We are steering this in the direction of evolution. We are pushing ourselves with boundaries that make us so crazy that it forces us to evolve. And I think when you can understand it from that perspective and view it from that perspective, it doesn't look quite as scary. Evolution is sometimes, right? Sometimes things look scary because we don't understand them. And the ending of things can be more terrifying than the beginning, because the ending always feels like it's harsh and out of control. It's not. It's not at all. But everything has to end for something else to begin. So here's where we are. This is where we are. Okay. Carol, you're very welcome, sweet girl. All right. Let's see. Where are we? Dawn, that's very sweet. Thank you for sharing. It's a very happy for you all and those who shared in your journey, unity. Sounds like Miss Betty gave it her also. Very cool. She did. And let me tell you all something. Betty gave it all of it and then some. That van, it was really funny, like, because I thought, 12-year-old coming off of an Xbox, we homeschool, like we had to give up personal space and share it with a collie. And it towards the end of it, Romy actually said to two of my friends that he would be happy living in something in a bus, but a little bit bigger. And he had a whole project plan. So I guess I'm going to get on a bus because that's where he wants to be now. He said, actually, I'm down with this. I see it. I get it. I get the beauty in it. I understand why this is relevant, why it's important to connect with people, because he was connecting with so many people. And he would say to me every time he met somebody new, Mama, you have the best friends. And I've always said to him, to have good friends, you have to be a good friend, right? And what a blessing that is. There's no greater blessing in our lives than to have people who love us and honor us the way that we love and honor them. So it was enlightening all the way around and a huge blessing, especially for a 12-year-old. Man, those kind of experiences are life-changing. He's had so many of them traveling around the world. He's met so many people. But I'm always trying to reinstill that need in my kids to seek others, to serve others, to love others, to open their heart, to not view things as a personal offense, but to view everything as an opportunity to expand our awareness, our consciousness, our love, our circle, the people that we have in our units. So we take it all and soak it right up. It's pretty amazing. Miss Dawn, when I get the opportunity, you would love a reading. Girl, I've got opportunity for you all day long. I'm going to take it right after another commercial break. I'm joking. This is probably the worst wine ever, though. Excuse me, I'm losing my throat. See, it's so bad. I'm losing my voice. All right. Miss Dawn Cecil. You know what's so funny, Dawn? Your last name Cecil reminds me of the Italian word for garbanzo bean, which is ceci. I don't know why, but every time I see it, I want to say, tu vorrei un po' di ceci. It always makes me think of ceci. I love it. It actually makes me hungry, and it gives me warm, happy feelings. So, Dawn, your card, excuse me again, on the tarot is a 13 card, which reduces down to a 4. Now, a 4 can be many things. A 4 can be about community. It can also be about the death of things in a good way or in a bad way. This one is called the Dream Thief. It's the refusal of the call. It's an interesting one. So this is all about messages that are being given to you, not only in your dream state, I would say predominantly, but also in the times when you're really quiet. And it's about kind of pushing them away, going, no, that can't be right. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's feeling like you're not worthy of all the blessings. We're going to be harping on this one a lot tonight. I can already see this one coming. When in fact you are beyond worthy because you created this book of blessings for yourself to pull from. But that's what that card's all about. And strangely, I just pushed my cards from right to left, not left to right. I've never done that before in my years. So I'm going to read this in an interesting way. Your strength has always been in your femininity, in the way that you've nurtured and taken care of others, in the way that you've educated them in love. Your weakness has always been in communicating what you want and what you need. I think we're taught a lot, and here I am, I'm pulling them the same way again. I think we're taught a lot as women to be pleasing. I have to tell you, Dawn, in these 3 weeks, I was so liberated because I didn't wear makeup. I had my hair in a ponytail like now, but with a baseball cap most of the time. I didn't shave, and I've never felt more liberated in my life. I couldn't have cared less how I looked, and I felt so abundantly free and happy. There's a certain aspect of this where you are always carrying yourself because you are concerned of the influence it will have on others around you. And it disconnects you a little bit from yourself. There's a separation between the commitments you've made to yourself and the commitments that you've made to others. And so this time is about merging those two things. I want you to focus on honoring the commitments that you have to yourself, both on a soul level and on a Terra level in this plane. In the same regard and respect that you honor the contracts and covenants and commitments that you've made with other people in your life. So it is a little bit about self-care, but I think it's more about self-awareness. I think it's about realizing that the balance in those two things is not so far off from each other. In fact, they kind of live in the same space. It's just waking up to it. Kind of like what I was saying with Mika. We all have to kind of wake up to the abundance and the gifts that we have and realize that we put them there in place. We put them there. So pull from them and open yourself up that way. But it's all about you, sweetie. It's all about you changing your perspective on you and how you work within your family unit, how you work within groups of people around you, how you manage those contracts in a complicity where you feel not a sense of duality, but a sense of unity in who you are and how you're honoring those things. Man, I feel like I'm babbling a dictionary tonight. It's crazy with y'all tonight, but I almost feel out of body while I'm talking to y'all. It's almost like I'm trancing out a little bit. There's a whole lot coming in about this for all of you guys. So I hope y'all take it to heart and take it seriously, because normally I don't get these kind of messages in this strong of a sense. And I definitely have not channeled in years by choice, but I can feel it really strong getting on you guys about honoring these covenants that you made and created for yourself. This is a big time of self-awareness and self-empowerment. That empowerment never takes away from another soul. It can't. It's impossible. You're only drawing from your bank account, not theirs. You can't withdraw from someone else's account. If people around you feel that way, that's a PP, a personal problem that has nothing to do with you. But in this sense, Dawn, it's about balancing that commitment, about finding your joy and balancing both. So I would urge you to love you as much as you love everybody else. Take care of you as much as you take care of everybody else, because you also hold a really strong mastery level. You have a strong capacity for healing. I would love to see you in the Reiki arts, more in the hands-on arts. See, Gracie even feels it. She's getting all excited about it. But I would love to see you working in that capacity. So maybe sleep on that, rest with it, think about it, and let those dreams come in like that first tarot card. Let them come in and whisper to you that wisdom that you need to hear, that you're not always consciously wanting to accept. Mouthful. Miss Deborah, I appreciate you too. And Mika, you are welcome, sweetie. Jerry always loved me. I love that man more than anything. I'll tell you what. That Jerry was something else. KJ, what are you saying? I have to say that you're cute without the teeth. You don't have time to fix them, and you don't want to fix them, so you're going toothless. Listen, I'm just going to be vulgar here, KJ, and say that you just made a lot of single men in their fantasies really happy. I made jokes for years, which is horrible, about gum jobs. But this might work in your favor, KJ. You never know. Just saying. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Miss Louise Robusto. Hey, sweet girl. I'm so glad to see you back in. I was talking to your beautiful, beautiful son today. I love that man. Love him to death. And I would be happy to give you a reading right after I get a rolling pin and beat Gracie. Gracie, what is going on with you? Do you need to come up and say hi? Is that what it is? Sorry, guys. Thanks. Come here, attention hound. Come on. Do we need to say hi to everyone? Are we freaking out? Or you want me to pick you up? Okay. Come here. I know you're crazy thinking this dog talks to me, but she actually does. She comes and sits down and wants me to pick her up like a baby all the time. She's kind of an attention whore, I'm not going to lie. And I have to carry her around like a baby all the time because she's a handful. Grace, do you want to say hi? Or are you just going to lay on Mama's shoulder? All right, you got to get down there because Mama's got to work, okay? See, Gracie's straight up telling me what she wants. She has no beef in it. Okay, Miss Louise, Grace Kelly. E poi basta. Smettila, zitz, platz, zita. Sorry, German and Italian. Okay, Miss Louise, here we go. You have an 18 card, which is a 9, and that is the eyes of the eagle rising above the fray. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card. This is all about laser focus and how you deal with other people's issues and drama, how you attach to other people's needs and wants, and how you attend to them with very direct focus and intention and with strength and authority without also losing yourself. This is all about not holding back on your wisdom. It's about saving and savoring. Ooh, I like that word, savoring. All those tiny tidbits of thoughts that come in your mind that are so enlightened, so wise. And harnessing those, it's almost like writing it down in a playbook. Do you know what I mean? But harnessing them and waiting for the right moment to unleash them onto the people around you. And that wisdom comes in really strong for you. One of the things that also comes in for me with you is stability concerning home and finances. And that seems to be a theme with you. I think that's carried with you most of your life. It's one of those things that pushes you to, excuse me, sometimes be in your own head a little bit too much, but it's thinking about that stability all the time. You want it for yourself and you want it for everybody else. So it's all about that. Here's the good gig. It's kind of an illusion. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Stability is an illusion. There's not a single physical thing on this earth that you own. The things that you are in possession of, however, even those possessions can be taken. So this illusion of ownership and stability and all of those things, it's like one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves. It's kind of like, I'm going to tell you this quick story because yesterday I went to buy groceries and out of nowhere, the guy who was checking me out, great guy. I would say he was probably in his early 50s. I don't know why people do this with me, but he started telling me about his life, of course. And he said, I just didn't end up where I wanted to be. I feel like I didn't do everything I wanted to do. And he said, I felt lost. And I said, why? Did somebody put a milk carton out with your face on it? And he goes, no. And I said, then you weren't lost. Why did you let somebody tell you that you were lost to meet whose expectation? To reach what? To do what? You're not lost. You were never lost. How could you be lost? You are where you are right now, standing here. You're not missing, right? There's this thing with you where it's always about making sure people don't feel lost, right? Where you're always trying to combine stability and love and that connected, energetic, and also fostering people to be brave, to take on challenges, to begin again, to start new without being fearful. That's your great strength, darling, especially with family. It's one of the biggest things I see with you. And it's interesting because with you, I pick up on that you've had like 2 or 3 lives when it comes to combining families. You'll probably understand that more than I will, but it feels like you've lived 2 or 3 lifetimes in one lifetime combining people together. And I still feel that. So I would say this for you is all about harnessing that brilliant energy that you have, that wisdom that you have to keep it rolling, to keep moving people along and keeping everybody growing and just keep being you. Because you're doing a good job, mama girl. Proud of you. All right, let's see where we are. Everybody's on KJ's teeth. Good Lord. Guys, can we just get past it? Listen, teeth are like flat stomachs. Not necessary at a certain age. I mean, there's a lot of soft foods you can eat, KJ, and they'll digest easier too, so you have to think about that. Hell, you might even lose some weight. I'm seriously considering going on that again myself. Hey, Michael, my sweet baby. I'm glad to see you in here. Mika, you're very welcome, darling. I'm so glad to have you. Jody Kramer Step, hi. I was at your house and did readings? Really? When was that? That must have been a long time ago. Holy moly, because I haven't done that in so long. With David. Really? God, that must have been forever ago. Seriously, but I'm so glad that you're here, Jody. If you've got a question or if there's anything that I can help you with, please make sure you put it into the chat so I can take care of that. But so happy to have you here. That's awesome. Let's see. Oh my goodness, you guys are so precious. With EVP Mediums, yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, I do remember that. Was I doing readings? I think we were helping you guys through a case, weren't we? So EVP Mediums was a group that I had worked with Lifetime Movie Network and met these guys up in New York when we were filming and absolutely loved them. And I flew back from Italy to produce a couple shows with them. And Jody, her house was one of the houses we were investigating, something that was going on with their family. And we just lost the leader of the group, David, about a month and a half ago, which is horrible. I don't know if things will ever be the same, but Jody, I'm so happy. It's really funny because I was just thinking about your son. I remember interviewing him on film and how precious he was. But I was thinking about you guys really recently, really recently. So that's really cool that you popped in. I'm so happy. That's awesome. Dawn, you're super welcome, sweetie. Oh my goodness. Oh, Deborah, what a pretty fur baby. And girl, she knows it too. Let me tell you that old prissy butt over there is sashaying all day, every day. That girl thinks she rules everything. And I'm pretty sure if she could get my jewelry on, Grace she'd be wearing my jewelry. She's bougie. She's bougie like that. Hey, Miss Chastity, you would like a reading? Absolutely, sweetie. I'm happy to do that for you. And Louise, you are so welcome, honey. You guys are really precious. I'm just so grateful and honored to have all of you in all the time. And I mean that sincerely, really. I get up every day and do what I do because of the capacity of love that I have for you guys. Sometimes it's a little overwhelming. So for you, my darling, for Chastity, I have pulled a 51, which is a 6. And this one is called Stars in the Sky. It's all about limitless possibility. It was inverted for me. So some of that tells me that you are feeling blocked. And I think you have felt that way for a while, but this is more like spiritual constipation. I know that's a weird way to say it, but that's what it feels like. It feels more like you're blocking yourself. You're blocking your own way. Like you've just gotten so fixed in your thought pattern that you can't allow change to come in. And so much change has already happened. But if you don't continue to let that change come in the way that it needs to come in, not the way that you think it needs to come in, Scorpios again, then it will kind of bypass you and it leaves you feeling a little spiritually constipated. I'm not gonna lie. So let's talk a little bit about kind of where that's going, because it has been building up for you for so long. And I think you always have been the caregiver of other people, both financially and physically. That aspect obviously hasn't changed in your life. We know that. And you're in kind of the waning period right now. So this is a period when you should be kind of reclusing and not worrying about bringing so much new things in, but more focusing on the things that you have and the gratitude within them. But there's no big changes coming in for you. I mean, you're stable. Everything's moving the way it's supposed to be moving. In fact, I think you're going to get a promotion or move into a little, like a different tiny little nudge with work. So that all looks good. And there's another interesting aspect too, because I do see somebody coming in for you, and I'm not going to go into great detail in this right now because this is very fresh. And in fact, I don't even think it's happened yet. But honestly, it feels like it's somebody that's higher up than you at work. And I know workplace relationships can be a little odd. And this is also somebody who's not typically your type in your head, what you think your type is. But this is somebody who is your type spiritually for sure. So that's going to be interesting to see how that develops. So eyes open, heart open, sweet girl. Recluse a little bit right now as far as taking care of yourself. You're where you're supposed to be. So just relax on that. But stay open to the possibilities of what this could be and what this looks like, okay? It's exciting. Chastity's gonna get some. That was rude, wasn't it? But you are. Actually, it's time. If we're being honest, it's time. I know that's a whole lot to put out there, but it's time. All right, let me see where we are. Findlay, Ohio, Miss Jody, I remember very well, sweetie, and you would like a reading? Absolutely. Jody, do you have a specific question, or did you just want a general reading? And hey, Miss Zelda, it is not too late, sweetheart. I will absolutely get you in. Chastity, I'm glad you understand, sweetie. I know you're feeling it. I can feel that on you real hard. And I know that you're reclusing yourself to protect yourself from unnecessary exterior drama and BS. That's also fine. But just keep your heart open. You recently started seeing somebody but he's not from work. Have fun with it. But I will just say, be open to other things that may come in. This is where we are. Okay, so let me see. Jody, is anyone coming through? I don't feel it right now, Jody. It's hard for me when I'm doing the lives like this because the crossing over stuff takes a lot more energetic out of me to kind of pull, and I have to step away from the entire group when I'm doing that. So I would say right now I don't feel that, but I will do a reading for you anyway. That back step looks like, I think this is your mom. This is a female on your side. It feels like mom energy. There is someone stepping in at this point. I'm gonna try not to get too far gone in it though, because I only have so much time in the live. But I do feel a woman coming in really strong around you. Your card is a 30, which is a 3. It is the Horseman. It is the herald of change. It's funny because a lot of people tease me about being the fourth horseman of the apocalypse and about me bringing change. I do bring change. I think that's what's coming in for you. This is all about bringing new people into your family, new experiences into your family, expanding everything about your life and your awareness. There's also the issue of you having to move forward from old relationships and old things that don't work anymore. So it's kind of like, I don't know, kind of like a reset for you, like resetting how you view what your worth is within the family unit, what you're willing to put up with, adopting new things that come into the family unit, and new ways for the unit to appear, to be, not only outwardly and socially, but also internally. Because I know with you guys, y'all have a very strong family, a very tight family, but there's a certain amount of completion that's coming in with that. And I won't go into a ton of detail because I think it's very private. I think you will understand it, but I think there's been a decision that's been a long time coming, that you really have to sit with and understand that it's okay to make. It's okay to step away from things that don't serve anymore. That severance or separation isn't permanent. It's kind of like cutting an umbilical cord, right? We cut the cord when we have a child, but obviously the connection's not going right. We're still there together. It's just we're changing the dependency of the connection. And so that is kind of what this looks like for me. It's a changing of the dependency of the connection. So it's kind of severing the cord while still being connected intentionally. It's interesting. I will say we should probably talk privately at some point, because I feel like there's a lot going on with you, but I just don't feel like airing it, if I'm being honest, right here. I think everybody has a right to their privacy. All right, Miss Zelda. Miss Zelda. And Brigitte, you would like a reading too? No problem. Oh, you just lost your mom, Jody? Well, yeah, because I feel her coming in. I have to say to you, it is faint, even though her energy is faint around me, even though she comes in kind of like, well, I'm hearing out of her mouth like a barracuda, right? Like she wants to come in and make sure that everybody's doing what the hell they need to be doing. So I feel that really strongly with her. But yeah, and I'm really sorry for your loss of her physically, but just know spiritually, she's still right there. You should know that better than anybody after the investigations we did in your house. Okay. So let me jump back up. Zelda, I don't know if you had a question, sweetie. If you'll just let me know, I will be happy to do that. If not, just put general for me, and I will jump right on that. Brigitte, the same with you, sweetie. Is this general, or do you have a specific question? And Louise, you love the cards. I do too. These cards are so amazing. And y'all know I don't use cards, but I did this for you guys because everybody else on the network uses cards, and I know how much y'all love all the imagery. These are the Shaman's Dream Oracle. If you guys are interested in getting these, they're very, very cool. I like them a lot. They have a really good book with them as well. But I just like the imagery and the pictures in them. I think they're pretty doggone cool. Okay. Zelda, you want general, and Brigitte, general. All right, guys, let me jump in. So Miss Zelda, let's see what we have. You have a 52 card, which is Straddling Worlds. The 52 obviously is a 7. There is no reduction of that. So straddling worlds, wandering between realms. Listen, this is all about, it was inverted though. I'm going to show you the card upright, okay? It's a really, really beautiful card. It was inverted for you, okay? So it's being, how do I say this? Not feeling as lost, feeling more concise about which side of the fence you're on and things, right? I think a lot of the times with you, you have floundered and not rocked the boat out of or for the benefit of other people and not for the benefit of yourself. But I think you're stepping into your own grace and your own authority where you're like, you know what, I just want to do me, and I want to do it in a kind way, but also in a very genuine way. And so that comes in. You're not really and you're not deep diving into things right now. I also think that's good. I don't think we need to be diving so deep into things sometimes. Sometimes the deeper we dive, the more shit we land in. Sometimes it's okay to be surface level, right? Just to kind of tread the water. There's nothing wrong in that. But with you, this is all about learning how to trust yourself. Like you're finding more trust with yourself, with who you are. And it's all about activating all of that inside of you and realizing also that nobody's coming to save you. Who you are and where you are is where you're supposed to be and where you've chosen to be. And you're everything that you need. So all of that's absolutely coming in right now for me. I think that's the big lesson. For you where this is concerned is really you just stepping into your own comfortability of knowing that who you are and where you are is exactly where you're meant to be. We're not lost. We don't need to run. We don't need to seek. Everything that we design for ourselves universally shows up anyway, whether we ask for it or not. It's already there. It's already there. So it's just not that big of a deal. So all of that's going really, really good. And then Brigitte, let me jump over to you if I can. Let me fix my bra strap that has fallen again. What is it with boobs? Why is it when they drop, so does the bra strap? I just don't get that. I mean, really? Is it not a cruel enough joke that they hang down at my waistline? Now the strap needs to hang down there too. So what's the point? What's the point in having an over shoulder boulder holder if it ain't holding the boulders up? I don't get it. I'm going to end up duct taping like a drag queen trying to keep these beasts up. Ridiculous. TMI, I know, but this is just where I am with life. Okay, Miss Brigitte. You have a 40 card reducing back down to a 4, and it's called Mindful. It's group think. And boy, is this relevant for you. I love it, love it, love it. You are so connected to the collective and constantly tapping into the collective. It's an interesting aspect. You've always had that. You've always done that. But I think something about coming into the group, into the collective group that you did with the 5D group, really woke up that authority in you to think in the collective completely and also to care in the collective completely. I think when people tap into that, they finally get it. In fact, Rachel, I hope this isn't too personal, but Rachel had asked me the other day, can I get there without connecting to that frequency? And I said, no. Everybody, it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? We get where we need to go. But if you are in an evolution process, you have to tap into that collective energetic on that higher frequency to really get the big picture. And that's where you are. You have become an ambassador of frequency. You have become an ambassador of collective thinking. It has become a new passion and love for you. And sometimes that love can be overwhelming and trying to understand where your role is and all of it. And, you know, it was funny. I won't go into our conversation deeply, but I will just say that flexibility of knowing when it's time to step in and give things time and effort, or when to be flexible and let them move in and through and out, is kind of that precision and mastery that we learn over time. And you're in that process. So it's all about that. It's all about learning how to be everybody's mother, how to roll with change, how to allow others space to do, how to let that information come in and move through and move out. And that's a huge movement. That's a big understanding, a big awareness. I think it's one of the arenas where when people truly start to evolve, they struggle the most because it's just so foreign and familiar at the same time. But I think you're handling with a tremendous amount of grace. And see, Carol's even agreeing. She's saying you are the ambassador, Brigitte, and it is true. It is absolutely true. Carol's feeling the struggle of the boulder holder. You know, can I just say, this is why I'm always convinced God's man. I'm just saying, no woman would ever have done to other women what has been done to us. I'm sorry, but ridiculous. It just is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're about there. I think I got everybody. If I missed anybody, y'all let me know. But I'm just going to say again, I'm so grateful to be back with you guys. It is awesome to be back in y'all's energy. It has been weird not being with y'all. It's been really strange. But it was also a much needed step back for me to kind of reconnect with myself and reconnect with very basic things in life. I enjoy the basics of life. I enjoy the simplicity in things. And I'm so fortunate that I have a child who I truly love being with all day, every day. I enjoy his company all day, every day. I don't think I laugh harder with anybody than I do with him. So it was nice to be locked in a van for 3 weeks. But I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you so much. Dawn, you're a gem as well. Thank you so much. Oh, Jody, you're freaking out again. I'm always spot on. I love you, sweet girl. It's so wonderful to be back, Carol. I cannot tell you guys. I'm just grateful. And I will be here Wednesday with you guys again. Please check the energy updates, the energy reports that are going out, guys. They are super relevant. They will guide y'all through in a way that you don't even know. Check them in the morning. I'm up pretty early trying to get them out for you guys to kind of steer you so that you understand where your day's going. I'm blessed to be back with each and every one of you. I'm grateful to be in this experience with you. I'm grateful to call you guys my tribe and my family. This network is grateful for you, and we wouldn't be here without you. And we love you very, very much. Hopefully, Rachel, we will be back on Monday. She's out on a family trip for her son. But Wanda will for sure be here woohooing her sweet little country ass off on Sunday. Victor will be here on Tuesday. I'll be back on Wednesday. And again, know that you are loved and that your bank account is abundant and overflowing. My cup runneth over.